So when the guys pointed this out to me, that they were like, Corinne's running for mayor. I was like, what's the gimmick, right? And so I start looking for everything.
You're so wrestling.
Yeah. I go, this is great. Everyone's gonna look. They're gonna click. There's gonna be a big reveal. It's gonna be fun. And then I start looking through the Corinne for mayor page, and I go, this is like really somebody that's running for mayor. I don't understand.
Yeah, you were reading the platform and you go, these seem like some good ideas.
Like she actually put work into this. This is like a legitimate platform. Where's the prestige? Where's the aha?
But is it that surprising knowing me? You know, I love to kill a happy time. I'm the only comedian that comes in and I'm like, yeah, but people are starving.
Right. It's like I was born to be a politician.
Yeah, I was like, maybe I should just stop killing the mood in comedy politically and just run for an office.
Yeah. Have you when you're telling your friends that you're doing this? Do they tell you, did they at first go like, oh, like as a goof?
No, very few people were surprised, especially for the past 5 years because I've been doing my political podcast Without a Country.
Right.
I've appeared on C-SPAN. So I think people, and I did Fox News Saturday night. Even before Jimmy Fallon took over hosting, it was something that I started doing because I feel like I have a knack for talking to people I disagree with. I mean, that's the whole premise of Without a Country to begin with.
Yeah.
So no, very few people were surprised. I think they also just know me. I mean, kids who knew me back when I was in grade school, my AOL screen name was Vice Pres 2B. So I think that, and then people say, why vice president? And I said, well, obviously the first female president's going to get assassinated, and I don't need that.
That's smart.
Yeah.
That's really smart.
This is how my mind was working when I was 12.
That's crazy.
So, yeah.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But so this has always been kind of something I love that. Plus, I also think that when you're sitting there at 12,
yeah.
Back when we were growing up, like we were still kind of far away. Yeah, Hillary Clinton was like that first sort of powerful female first lady, but the idea of a female president was still, women weren't even running in a way that people were taking them seriously.
Mm-hmm.
But the idea of being vice president, if you are the vice president, you can kind of sneak in as the incumbent.
Yeah, I go, no one's even going to notice.
Right, you're used to me, right?
Yeah,
I've been here.
This is women are sneaky. You're right, guys.
So why now did you decide like, I'm actually going to do this? Because you had a lot. Mm-hmm. You had a lot of success with the podcast, and obviously stand-up's going well. You've been doing it for a long time.
Yeah, and the podcast is still going well. I mean, that's part of the reason I have enough time to decide on a whim to run an entire campaign, because technically, if I only wanted, to work 1 day a week for the money part of my life, I could do that. And my stand-up is completely on hiatus. So I think when people hear that, they're like, oh, this lady is serious about this. I mean, part of it was because I just need the extra time because the campaign is all encompassing.
Because it's a real campaign?
Yeah. And then part two is, stand-up doesn't really align perhaps with the values that I want to talk to the people of New York City about. And if you don't have that freedom on stage, you're just going to end up bombing every time. I can't be on stage worrying about, does someone have their phone out? Is someone going to misinterpret this as a soundbite? And so I was like, we'll just put a pin in it. I know I can go without it, for 4 to 6 months, because I've done it for COVID already. I know I won't lose all my skill set. Mm-hmm. And so we have fully committed.
Do you worry though when you're doing the podcast now that it's like, okay, as we're moving forward here, if people at all start to take this as a threat, they are going to start listening to the podcast and finding quotes and,
Yeah, I think it's like all this stuff has already been out there, and people have already tried to attack me through comedy. So I think I'm probably more prepared than the other candidates to take these attacks.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and you have been in the public eye in a real way for like a long time.
Yeah, I've been unliked for a decade and counting, so politics should really be a breeze.
That shouldn't be too tough.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so do you like debate as an art form, or do you like arguing, fighting, disagreeing?
No, I like debate as an art form, I think. And I'm also truly interested in hearing the arguments of people I disagree with. I'm not someone who's going to go into an argument and be like, no part of me can be swayed. I truly find it interesting to hear the perspective of other people. We've all lived a different life that comes with a bias.
Yeah. Do you watch those debates where it's like 30 kids against 30 liberal college students against one like Trump guy, and they're all in the circle around him and they're all going back and forth.
Definitely part of my algorithm. Yes.
Yeah. I can't. Would you like to be that person in the chair that's just like, come on, I'll take on all of you?
Oh, the one person.
Person.
Would I like it? I don't know if I would like it, but it's something that I would be open to, as long as people were debating fairly. I don't like when people have and people come into comedy shows like this sometimes with just like a gotcha mentality. They're just looking to see you fail or trip you up, and I don't think that's like a positive intention. If you're going and you want to have a conversation about something that you're passionate about, absolutely.
Yeah.
Convince me why I'm wrong.
Right.
I think a big thing that politicians need to be better at is saying, you know what? I looked into that more. I've spent more time governing, and I was wrong about that. But we as the people, the constituents, we have to say, okay, we're going to allow people to change their mind. We can't hold people to, a bill they proposed perhaps 20 years ago. Society has changed drastically in that time period.
See, it's when you say it sounds intelligent, but then I just go back to like George Bush and John Kerry, when John Kerry was like, I changed my mind on that. And everybody's like, what are you, a flip-flopper? Look at the flip-flopper, everybody.
Sure. I mean, I think if you have a history of flip-flopping, especially when it seems like you're trying to, win alliances,
right,
then that's a problem.
Yeah.
But if you truly lived 2 decades, society has progressed, you've talked to so many more people in that time period, I think then it's okay to make a change, right? That's more like things, when people were, Hillary Clinton is a good example. Perhaps not because so many people dislike her, but I think she's really put in the work. Her stance on gay marriage perhaps changed a bit, but I mean, that's a societal reflection.
Right.
There are some things that, like, if you wanted to progress in politics, I think it would have been great if she was bold and just recognized, people should be able to marry each other if they love one another. But I think it would have also hindered her political career immensely.
Yeah, it is wild that when Bill Clinton was president, don't ask, don't tell was kind of like a progressive stance. You know what I mean?
And you're like,
like,
just keep a huge secret that will weigh you down as you're fighting.
Right. And if you tell anybody, we told you not to tell anyone.
Yeah.
This is your fault now.
Yep.
Yeah. When Guys We Fuck starts blowing up and you and Christina are like kind of everywhere and you're, one of these early massive podcasts.
Yeah.
Was there a part of you that's like, I didn't expect this to blow up. I'm watching these politics. I kind of want to get into the political world, but right now or had that not occurred to you?
No, I wasn't. I would say I was someone who in my 20s was, I mean, that's probably a little late, but was getting most of my news from like the AOL welcome page.
That's sick.
And then I actually have to credit a boyfriend I started dating in 2016. Probably a little bit earlier than that, but we were dating during the Hillary Clinton Donald Trump election that shook the world. And I was an avid Hillary supporter, and when I started dating him, he wasn't like an out Republican, but he ended up being a Trump guy. I don't think he is anymore. And that was a real crash course in, number one, having to be well read so I could debate him every night, well read on the news, and also realizing that this is a person I love, but I really disagree with some of his viewpoints, and is it possible to make this work? And so that's what really got me interested in politics, I think, was that election and that relationship.
Did you stay with him even through his Trumpdom? Like, was that what ended the relationship, or was...
No, it wasn't his Trumpdom. I mean, there was a whole thing that happened with him. I mean, he did kind of spiral down this like Reddit rabbit hole that I think we understand now more as a society how much that has affected people. Yeah. But like my relationship with him was the start of like people getting in misinformation and getting sucked into like a cult-like thread, I suppose. And so that's what ended it. But it wasn't Trump specific. But I mean, I'm sure it was influenced by Donald Trump.
Sure. Yeah, that HBO doc that they made about, QAnon and like and kind of almost like non-judgmentally looking at what was happening. I thought the most interesting part was when they were like showing the families that had been like, no, I went down this spiral, and I think the pandemic had a lot to do with it. You know,
yeah,
being
you had
locked.
so much time.
Yeah, and you didn't understand like how could this happen? Like somebody
our governor
make
failed
sense.
us.
Right.
Absolutely, and I think that's a fair thing to feel. And I do feel like that. We love to toss around, post COVID. These are unprecedented times we're living in. Like, okay, but a government should be prepared for unprecedented times. They will always occur. The fact that we don't have money for the Los Angeles fires, we don't have relief on hand, and people are GoFunding me to build their houses, that's laughable.
Yeah, or water.
Yeah,
water would have been clutch.
Water would have been clutch.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's my platform.
I'm
thinking
that.
of also getting involved.
I'd wear a T-shirt that says "Water would have been clutch."
Yeah. Is it true that Stephen Jenkins from Third Eye Blind is in your group of advisors?
Yes.
How did that happen?
Stephen Jenkins is extremely knowledgeable. He does a lot of work for climate change. We've been friends with Stephen through GWF podcast for a while. Him and his band are a fan of the show. They've appeared on the show. And yeah, he's just incredibly smart and also, a lyricist. So he has a magic way with words. And, it's not like he's on every Zoom call, but yeah, he's lended his expertise.
You can throw stuff by him.
Yeah.
I mean, and he's the
very
guy from Third Eye Blind.
But yeah, he lives in San Francisco, but he's very politically involved there and is doing a lot of work for the environment. So he's a serious guy.
It doesn't get exhausting, all the getting politically involved and being like, oh, I got to figure out how to change this, and oh, they're doing this wrong. And I mean, because it's just always something.
It does, but I think that's why it's nice to have a platform, because you have 3 to 4 issues that you really get time to hone in on and explore. And that's what you're basically running on. It's not to say that you're going to leave the rest of the elements of the city to go to hell, but you're like, these are the things I'm really going to focus on, and you should, by the end of my 4 years, see visible change in these areas.
Are you going to use a Third Eye Blind song like Trump uses YMCA?
You know what? I don't know if I'm going to do that. I feel like we should have some kind of an original song, but we're not to the jingle part of the campaign yet. But if you guys,
it's been like 12 days.
If you guys keep contributing at CorinneFisher.com,
yes,
you can get to the jingle part of the campaign faster.
I mean, and if he's an advisor, maybe knock off the rights fees or whatever. That could be huge.
Yeah, I mean,
Third Eye Blind is big,
and he's been extremely generous with his time and really helpful as well.
Yeah, as well as being the guy from Third Eye Blind.
Yeah,
I appreciate you saying.
I like it.
Giving him credit for
I mean, it is
what he's actually doing.
As a millennial, you're like, oh my God, I used to sing your songs that I printed off the computer and used to keep in like those pockets in my mom's car. So anytime a top 40 hit came on, I would have all the lyrics. Am I a dork?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's so crazy. I've never heard of anybody doing that. So,
I'm organized from a young age.
Yeah, I have a passion for this song. So I have properly printed the lyrics, and I will put them, like usually you just kind of mumble through the lyrics, no?
No, I wanted to get it right. It's car karaoke.
Right. I've never seen anybody on car karaoke.
James Corden.
Did you see, by the way, Eric Adams, and I don't know if you become mayor if you'll do stuff like this,
right?
But he put out a very bizarre snow warning to New York. I don't know if you caught this on his Instagram.
I did not. I was so immersed in reading articles about why he's no longer a criminal.
He's not anymore.
That I missed his legendary snow warning.
Yes. He's not a criminal. We can now trust him with the weather as well. On his
the real perpetrator is this blizzard.
Right. On his Instagram account, he kind of let everybody know that there was snow coming. And I think when he first did it,
is his platform that he's running on? I'm gonna replace your phone.
I don't know.
He just calls every New Yorker every day. It's gonna rain.
Yeah. And it's not like it was that much snow. It was like
I know,
a couple inches.
I kind of, as an East Coaster, I make fun of people when they just when they're running to the supermarket to get jugs of water.
Right.
And it's like we lived through COVID. I think we're a little bit more prepared than this.
We'll be fine. Is this the one? Yeah, this is from 4 days ago. Perfect.
Oh my gosh.
Check out the winter weather advisory from our mayor.
In New Yorkers, that white stuff is coming tomorrow. Yes, snow. Starting 7 p.m. tomorrow.
Cocaine humor from the mayor.
3 to 5.
That was kind of it. Just the fact that he goes, New Yorkers, that white stuff is coming. Yes, snow.
Okay.
Like, nobody's ever referred to snow that way before.
They haven't.
No. But to his credit,
yeah,
the white stuff did come.
It did come.
Of course, I mean snow. Like it's a.
I just want everyone to know I don't endorse Sam Roberts' impression of Mayor Eric
That's
Adams.
what he sounds like to me.
Okay.
That's what he sounds like to me. He doesn't sound like somebody I trust with the weather. Kind of foolish.
Okay.
He sounds to me, he sounds foolish. We watched him go through. Have you ever seen him going through backpacks before?
Yes.
So, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm just trolling you.
No, look, you're a politician now. You got to keep yourself safe. You got to keep yourself protected.
Yes.
Are you going to give weather updates when you're mayor?
I feel like there's probably more pressing issues for the city, but if anyone requests one, I'm happy to give it to them.
Okay. I would leave it to Mr. G. You know what I mean? It's New York. There are people whose jobs it is to tell us when the white stuff is coming.
Right. That's why
Snow.
it seems like, why are we doing an Instagram reel about this? I guess just anything to make it seem like he's worried about the people of the city and not keeping himself out of jail.
Yeah. When that video came up, I was like, but what about all like the DOJ stuff? It's more what I was like, I knew about the snow.
Yeah.
Because I have an app on my phone that tells the weather.
Correct.
I was more interested, like, what's up with you in
Maybe
Turkey?
he's making the weather more accessible. All New Yorkers aren't able to afford a smartphone. Sam, they don't have SiriusXM money.
That's true. They're not all loaded like all of us in here.
There you go.
But,
well, I mean, Eric Adams he's extremely loaded. He's been fundraising the entire time he's been mayor. It seems, with the chunk of change that he has in his campaign bank account.
He's doing well.
Yeah.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Wow. Well, then I guess we're gonna get some real good. What party? Why would he need all that money to run for re-election?
Turkish vacations?
Gotcha. God, he loves Turkey, huh?
He loves it.
That's weird.
I have nothing against Turkey, but
it seems good.
Yeah.
It seems good.
Yeah.
And if anybody from Turkey's listening, when Corinne is mayor, give her a call. Maybe she'll do favors too.
I'll fly coach.
You're okay flying
I'm
coach.
from the world of stand-up comedy. I'm extremely used to flying coach. I'm also only 5'3.5". I don't know if I want to give that away. People might feel uncomfortable with such a short mayor.
Are you going to wear lifts like Marco Rubio?
No, I'm a Spice Girls fan. I'll just wear platform shoes. I have a closet full of them.
That's the move.
Everyone meets me and they say, I thought you'd be a lot taller. I say, I have tall person energy.
Yeah, you do. You
right?
do. Yeah.
You want a mayor who has tall person energy.
That's all you need. It doesn't matter their actual height.
Exactly.
You do come in and feel like you're capable of and ready to own a room.
There you go.
That's been your energy, though, as long as I've known you. It's been your energy for a very long time.
Thank you.
Yeah, which is good. That's what you want, because you want to believe that you're going to be able to walk into a room of like very important people and be taken seriously.
I'll fist fight Cuomo.
You will, right?
I'm saying it on the air right now. This is my I can't wait to get notes from my committee on this appearance.
Yeah.
Because I'm just going to go in cold to this one, and then you can tell me the list of things that I shouldn't say.
Stephen Jenkins is going to be like, don't fist fight politicians, okay? I mean,
no, he's a little rapscallion. I think he would love if I fist fought Cuomo.
I think it'd be great.
Yeah,
I think it'd be great, and you could do it under the ruse of like a charity celebrity boxing thing.
Oh
but like,
no,
celebrity
deathmatch, Fisher versus Cuomo.
For sure. Well, what if this Cuomo? People are saying he might run as an independent. What if he becomes one of your opponents in the landscape of mayoral politics?
I mean, isn't that interesting, though, because you're running as an independent because everyone in the Democratic Party hates you? That's not really a good...
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I get that.
We're still waiting for him to announce, though. I mean, certainly money has been pumped into already trying to make him look bad, so it certainly seems like he's announcing, but the dates get later and later. First, I heard he's announcing in February, then March, then April, so we'll see. I mean, there is a deadline that you have to announce by, but...
What a game to play. So you're saying there's money being put into people actively trying to make him look bad.
Yeah.
Which is how you know...
There are groups independent from the candidates that kind of... who knows if I'm supposed to be saying this, but part of my campaign is that I want transparency and I want people to understand what it takes and what's going on behind the scenes when you're running for to be a public servant. But there's so much money floating around, and part of it, are these independent groups that kind of look at the candidates who are gaining steam, and if they don't agree with them, try to take them down.
Well, if people are interested in everything that Corinne is doing, you can just go to CorinneFisher.com, right?
Yeah. CorinneFisher.com. You can donate, you can volunteer. And I do want to make this known to specifically New York City residents. We have a really interesting and generous matching funds program here in New York City. So if you're a New York City resident, your funds can be matched 8-to-1 up to $250. This is once I hit a threshold. The government gives us money. They don't just give it to any candidate. So don't worry. You have to have at least 1,000 singular donations from New York City residents and hit a matchable threshold of $250,000. That being said, all donations matter and I appreciate them so much. But if you're listening and you're a New York City resident, even $10 would make a world of difference to my campaign. And it's not saying you're going to vote for me. It's just saying you see potential in my candidacy and you can follow me and make that decision on June 24th.
Corinne, we appreciate it.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you having me on. First piece of press. Will it
Whoa.
bring the entire campaign down?
We did it. Let's see. I don't know. We'll see. We'll find out. We'll see you guys tomorrow.